Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6 at noon.
We start with breaking news now at noon. The Orange County Sheriff says a gun left out led to twin 4-year-old boys being shot. Both are now in the hospital in critical condition. Deputies say the boy's mom, Kishara Goodrum, left the gun on the couch. We're told she was cooking for the family when she heard the gun go off and saw one twin was hurt. Investigators say while on the way to the hospital, Goodrum and the boy's father, Maurice Bright, noticed the other twin was also hurt. Goodrum was arrested for child neglect. Bright was arrested for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Both have first appearances today. We'll have more on this story coming up on News 6 at 4. We are following more breaking news right now as we take a look at new video just in from South Florida. A small plane has crashed into a neighborhood in Coral Springs. Debris can be seen in the backyard of a house and in a pond. According to a spokesperson at Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport, the Beechcraft King Air twin turboprop plane took off from the airport just after 10 this morning en route to Jamaica for relief efforts following Hurricane Melissa.
Our dive team has conducted a preliminary dive operation. We have not found any victims as of this time. We do have our police department here with their divers as well. They'll be conducting a recovery mission shortly. We were unable to find any victims or any large pieces of fuselage on our initial dive. So we are still working the area. We are asking any residents in this neighborhood, if you have any debris in your yard anywhere in this neighborhood, because the debris field is pretty large, we're asking you to contact the Coral Springs Police Department.
Stay with News 6 and clickorlando.com for updates on this breaking story. Turning now to our other top story, the weather. You may have noticed a big cool down this morning, and it is expected to be even colder for us tomorrow. Meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now. So, Julie, how low are we talking?
Lisa, we are unusually cold. So we're talking about an overnight low in Orlando of 37 tonight, and we have not seen air this cold this early in the season since 1993. And yeah, we'll be in record territory in a lot of our cities as well. But we are talking about dangerously cold conditions. So you want to go ahead and make sure you know where your coats and your gloves are tonight, because you're going to need them in the morning. We have a freeze warning posted for Marion County until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And all of us are under cold weather advisories because of the wind chill readings. It will feel like the 20s in some spots. I'll break that down for you, and we'll take a look ahead to the next 7 days. Lisa, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Julie, thank you. Counties across Central Florida are opening cold weather shelters. The Sheltering Tree in Flagler County is opening tonight at the Rock Transformation Center on North State Street. In Lake County, a shelter will open at Life Point Church on Orange Avenue in Eustis. And in Volusia County, the Bridge in DeLand will open on Monday and Tuesday nights for anyone who may need that. We've posted this full list for you at clickorlando.com. Taking a live look now at Orlando International Airport as travelers are keeping an eye on their flights while the government shutdown continues. 40 airports have been forced to reduce flights by the FAA, including at MCO. News 6's Talisa Hampton is live at Orlando International Airport for us, where we have seen cancellations and delays over the past few days. So, Talisa, how are things looking out there this morning?
Well, things are only set to ramp up here as tomorrow flight reductions will go from 6%. Right now, they're at 4%. It's all to reach 10% by Friday. So to put that in perspective for viewers, take a look at the board, because you can see there's way more red here compared to last Friday for delays and cancellations. Now, the FAA, they mandated these flight reductions because of a strain on the system for both pilots and air traffic controllers. We know there's been shortages as federal employees are not being paid because of the government shutdown. Now the order does not require a reduction on international flight, so airlines are at their own discretion for which flights will be impacted. However, that order, it does require airlines to issue full refunds for those impacted, but they are not required to cover secondary costs. Nationwide, over 2,000 flights have been canceled this weekend. This morning, we reported that the Orlando airport confirmed they cut at least 130 flights since Friday to align with the FAA's plan. Today, FlightAware reports 169 delays and 58 cancellations here in Orlando, which compared to last Friday is way up. So you can see the long line here behind me for people going through TSA. The airport, they did post for passengers to get here way ahead of time for departure. But they also suggest that you check that flight status before you even make it to the airport. But if you are here, they do suggest that 3-2-1 rule. So all for this to get before departure, 3 hours for the ticket line, 2 hours for TSA, and then 1 hour to get to your gate before departure, so you can make that flight. Reporting in Orlando, I'm Talisa Hampton. Back to you.
All right, Talisa, thank you. Now with a live look over Washington, D.C., where the shutdown could soon be coming to an end. Lawmakers over the weekend discussing an agreement to end the longest shutdown in U.S. history. CBS News' Natalie Brand has the latest.
Senators returned to Capitol Hill this morning with optimism the record-long government shutdown could soon end. 7 Democrats and an independent voted with Senate Republicans late Sunday to advance a House-passed short-term funding measure.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
Under a compromise deal negotiated by moderates, that bill would be amended to fund the government through January, reverse shutdown-related federal layoffs, and guarantee back pay to all federal employees. It also includes 3 longer appropriations bills for certain agencies, including agriculture, which funds SNAP.
Keeping the government shut down for another week or another month doesn't indicate that there would be any change in the outcome. All it would mean is that more Americans would suffer.
The deal also promises a Senate vote on health care in early December, but without a guarantee to extend the Enhanced Affordable Care Act tax credits, a number of Democrats are calling this plan a mistake.
You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up, and the President of the United States certainly will not sign it.
The agreement must still be approved by the Senate and the House. It comes as the impacts of this shutdown are reaching a boiling point for federal workers, air travelers, and those who rely on federal food assistance. Food pantries across the country saw long lines this weekend as the Trump administration ordered states to undo steps taken to restore full SNAP benefits, with a legal fight still playing out.
If we don't get SNAP until the shutdown's over, we could end up literally starving.
As for those trying to travel, thousands of flights were canceled or delayed this weekend as the FAA began to phase in cuts at major airports. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A devastating scene on an Orange County road. 3 teens, including a 13-year-old, died after the truck they were in lost control and slammed into a tree. This happened on Welch Road, not far from Wekiva Drive. Your Orange County community correspondent Jarrell Baker is looking into what happened.
Now I'm here right off of Welch Road. Now you can see exactly all of the debris from that crash right here. You can still see pieces of the truck. And also, if you come over this way here to this second tree right here, this is where the tree crashed into, and you can still see the tracks from the vehicle right here. Now, Florida Highway Patrol says that the crash happened around 1:30 a.m. Sunday morning. A 17-year-old lost control of his vehicle, a Chevrolet Silverado, while going around a curve on Welch Road. Now that's when he and 5 other male teens crashed into a tree near Wekiva Drive. The FHP says that the 2 17-year-olds and a 13-year-old boy died in the crash, and one of them died after being transported to a local hospital. The 3 other passengers were taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Residents who live nearby say that they're devastated by the tragedy and constantly see drivers speeding dangerously along the roadway. Now they're hoping that this will bring out more law enforcement officers to monitor the area.
They drive like crazy on this road, especially after dark, when they figure there's no police sitting there or anything like that. They drive crazy speeds. We've had several accidents on this road. We've petitioned to have police maybe sit out here at night.
Now, troopers are still investigating if speed was a factor, but we did confirm that 4 of the passengers in the vehicle were not wearing seatbelts, according to a crash report. Here in Apopka, I'm your community correspondent, Jarrell Baker.
Jarrell, thank you. Those victims have now been identified. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, 17-year-old Enrique Sabas, 13-year-old Leonor Velasquez, and 17-year-old Julio Lopez all died in the crash. We'll have more updates for you starting on News 6 at 4 tonight. We are working to learn more after authorities in Miami say an investigation is underway into a passenger's death aboard a Carnival cruise ship over the weekend. Miami authorities are working with the FBI. The passenger's name has not been released. The company says their focus is on supporting the family and cooperating with the FBI. The ship is back out to sea on another cruise. We'll be following up to learn more. Check at clickorlando.com for the latest. Well, you've likely seen them at any bank. ATMs used to grab some quick cash, but not quite like this one.
It's good for the community, for everybody to get together with their dogs and hang out.
The machines at a South Florida bank hoping to bring people back to brick and mortar locations. Julie.
I love that so much. A cold front is now well to our south, that cooler air building in behind that. And that means when you wake up tomorrow morning, we will be in record territory, most of us falling back into the 30s. I'll break down how cold it will feel where you are coming up.
Introducing the new $25 million Gold Rush Multiplier Scratch-Off from the Florida Lottery.
Welcome back. Take a look at these pups using their snouts to make a transaction. That's right, it is at a dog ATM, an automatic treat machine, and it's at a bank in South Florida. As CBS News' Christian Benavides shows us, the goal is for people to put down their banking apps and return to the brick and mortar buildings.
For John Kay and his 3-year-old rescue pup Harley, a trip to the bank means a stop at the ATM, the automated treat machine.
It's good for the community, for everybody to get together with their dogs and hang out.
It's a dog treat dispenser made to look like ATMs that perform financial transactions for humans. Paul Ron is vice president and store manager at TD Bank in Coral Gables, Florida.
The dog would walk up and stand on the mat. He or she would stick their snout in the bowl.
They can be hard to navigate for some dogs, as we discovered. But the point is not just about the pets, rather about their people. Unplugging from the digital banking world, to step into store branches.
For us, it's about creating innovative experiences for our customers. It also gives us an opportunity to have yet another point of interaction.
These treat dispensers will soon be available at more than a dozen locations nationwide, from here in Florida up to Maine.
At Capital One, it's what's in your wallet and in your cup.
Honestly, I'm here probably 3 times a week.
This cafe in New York City is one of more than 60 with the Capital One name across the U.S. Cardholders like Isabella Galati get a discount on the coffee, but the atmosphere is free.
It's so accessible, and I love all the windows and the drinks and people, so I really like it here.
We create, first of all, a very open and welcoming design, but we also enable people to sit side by side on a couch over a cup of coffee with one of our ambassadors to talk through money matters and financial needs in general.
Whether it's the human touch or the canine extras, banks are now looking to the brick and mortar to reconnect with customers. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Coral Gables, Florida.
I think those would be popular at a lot of locations, Julie.
Absolutely. I would switch banks just to be able to take Jake
to
an ATM just for him. Yeah.
Well, if you take your dog out to the bank or wherever, you might want to put a sweater on them in the coming days.
Absolutely. We are looking at what could be dangerously cold conditions overnight and into tomorrow morning. So it is a night that you might want to bring some sensitive vegetation in. Definitely don't leave your pets outside for any length of time, because we are talking about wind chill readings when we wake up tomorrow morning around the 20s and 30s. It will feel like 27 in Ocala. It will feel like 30 in Orlando. Now, we had a cold front go through very early this morning. If you were with us on the morning show, you know it brought a few showers through the overnight hours. Now we're seeing lots of sunshine, and the winds have picked up behind that, bringing in that cooler, drier air. So once we get to sunset tonight, we'll really see the temperatures dropping quickly, although they're not going to warm up much at all for us today, thanks to that front. And that means we are talking about a cold Veterans Day starting out in the 30s and not even getting out of the 50s in most spots for our highs tomorrow. Now, we do have winter weather advisories posted. We have a freeze warning in place in Marion County overnight tonight until 8 o'clock tomorrow. And all of our counties are under cold weather advisories because of the wind chill readings. These used to be called wind chill advisories. Now they're cold weather advisories, but it means it is just going to feel brutal when you are heading out to work and school tomorrow. So here is the setup bringing us all of this cold weather. This is a look at the jet stream, which separates the cold air to the north and the warm air to the south aloft. So notice this big dip. That is a trough that allows all of that polar air to surge off toward the south. So that is why we are talking about some of the coldest temperatures this early in the season that we have seen since the 90s. And we're talking about some spots 20 to 25 degrees below normal for our highs tomorrow. And that certainly includes in Central Florida. We'll be about 20 degrees cooler than our normal highs. Now for tonight, this is what you can expect. A low of 37 in Orlando, 34 for your low in DeLand, 41 in Mico, 30 in Ocala, and 32 for your low in Wildwood. But again, here's another look at those feels-like temperatures, because these numbers are so important as your kids are heading out to school tomorrow or you're leaving for work. This is what you're going to be dealing with. It will feel like 28 in the Villages, 26 in Gainesville, 27 in Ocala, and it will feel like 31 in New Smyrna Beach. Now this afternoon, a little bit of a bite to the air from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera. You can see a lot of blue sky, 61 degrees. We reached our high for the day in the overnight hours. It's 58 right now in DeLand, 57 in Ocala, and our winds have really picked up, coming in, gusting around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Water vapor imagery showing all that dry air has built in for us, and that means we will keep clear skies around, which again, those clear skies, well, those temperatures fall pretty quickly after sunset. Now, here's your hour-by-hour forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency, you ought to call Strata.
Here is Captain ready for the cold weather. We're keeping it in the low 60s and breezy as we head through the evening hours. Overnight tonight, 37 in Orlando, 58 for your high on your Veterans Day. Back in the 80s, Lisa, by the end of the weekend.
All right, Julie, thank you. A major renovation coming to Camping World Stadium could take a big step forward today. Coming up, a look at the all-new plans and the vote city leaders are taking that could see the renovations start to become a reality. And coming up on News 6 at 6.
I'm investigator Louis Bold, and many people drive for rideshare companies to pick up extra cash. But today, a warning. Our investigation found a scheme targeting some drivers and stealing their money.
And I said, now I'm in shock, total shock, like, oh my God, what just happened?
An Uber driver contacted me wanting to warn others. We'll have the story tonight at 6 on News 6.
Here's a live look at Port Canaveral from our Launch Credit Union Port Cam. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back. Taking a live look at Camping World Stadium from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope cam. In less than an hour, plans for a big renovation could take a big step forward. The Orlando City Council is set to give the final sign-off on the $400 million renovation plan. It includes replacing the upper deck completely, along with expanding seating capacity to 65,000 and improving the stadium suites. The work could begin in just a matter of weeks and be finished in early 2027. Check out our all-new primetime lineup on News 6 tonight. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Go in depth as we track the tropics and answer your weather questions with meteorologist Jonathan Kagas at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. And you can download our streaming app for free. Just search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. As we take a live look at our camera in Daytona Beach, you're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
That cold air is on the way. Overnight, expect lows well below normal. 37 in Orlando, 30 for your overnight low in Ocala. But look at these numbers. This is how it will feel heading out to work and school tomorrow. Feel like the 20s and 30s just about everywhere. And for our Veterans Day, going to a high only of 58 degrees. And then we'll see a gradual warm up as we get through the weekend. So dig out those coats.
All right, Julie, thank you. You can switch over right now to the News 6 Plus streaming app or click Orlando.com to watch News 6 Extra. Have a great day.